yes, in your intelligence infrastructure, you don't mistreat the person. Remember, Obia Wakokosum, managing director or baby minister, assembly or what can you? But if you reduce it to partisanship, attack, I'm not suggesting that I am against accountability. Obia render accounts, but in the process, there must be a system in place. But where we play to the gallery all the time, attack. In the end, it says NDC for budget aba. They're also going to start procurement. Governance is about procurement. A baby and you are survive without procurement. Okay? You buy for the state. So they would have to take it easy and follow due process and allow us to all feel that the more they continue to attack, persecution here, persecution there, in the press conference, NPP4, the real problem is there. Solve it. Let me tell you, let me see this, I'm working. In the NDC, MPP Abredo, ECG, more lawyers are. More lawyers, NDC for number wasn't NDC for Kukuda. No, NDC for ECG lawyers. In MPP time. They were the ones who were writing legal opinion. I have court documents. These same lawyers are. You know what? MPs are being. What are being? They were writing legal opinions. They were in court when people sued ECG. These were the same people that would defend the ECG there. ECG in the work PPA. How can the same people today, when their party members are attacking the former MD and our former managing directors for not going to PPA, they will keep quiet? PDS in some they were in the public space talking about corruption. Do you know that those lawyers are will defend PDS and ECG? They were approaching court. You end these lawyers. You see, let us say Ghana first. That is what I'm saying there. You see, as it politics does not mean being partisan 24 hours. You look at the national interest. The fact that we opponent all the Biblia or Buano on each other can want some papa, I will opposition in Babylon.
Okay, my interest.
But no, I need to. You brought an important question. Zawarian, in the long run, unborn. I've been in government before. I started off in opposition. I am back into opposition. I know for a fact the bureaucrats is now creating in the public service, in terms of the structures,
okay.
It requires a collective political will to solve it. If we make it partisan, the man then they are benefiting from the rots. No politicians were showing. Look, Akufado, if you are being, there are appointees and there. What's one poor professional, one posit, 1 year a MPP for. There are people who are still playing ball with this current administration. Of course, a Ghana airport company. The chief executive, also NDC. No. I'm just giving an example. The chief executive of Ghana Airport Company.
More time. No.
Appointed. Why is it that some chief executive from day one terminating one appointment, even when there's a Supreme Court decision in the Donko versus the Republic case? The Supreme Court provided a clear path how chief executive of SOEs are to be handled in the change of government. All right, but some of them who had even retired were sacked. Obiawa retired was sacked. Ask yourself, why is the chief executive of Ghana Airport Company still in office.
So do you feel betrayed by?
Oh, I'm not going there. I'm saying there. We are seeing Hukakra.
Okay. Yes, share revenue team. Nana come me person me bisa said now kasa buying Kamea say in a way yes more hante the previous administration. Quite best on Omonfa so business a signal bureau opinion ED say who say ya transfer si kase ya you see the contract.
No, please you and I don't know. Don't let us go. Don't let us go there. No. I'm saying that it's unfair to the gentleman. Listen,
sir.
Listen to me. A security couple, an intelligence officer in any serious democracy, he won't be treated that way. Share Obia awo ada. No good or bon.
Okay, my younger revenue.
It is our yano.
Okay,
I'm saying that due process.
Okay, you shall revenue team for
what we need
about minority or the evidence about drug trafficking.
Why are you asking me there about minority? I would listen. It be some there on the evidence about iron.
Because
no, that's not a fair question. Please,
okay, it's minority more, evidence ban putu say amubetimi edi ache amubi because yene te say I'm a Ghanaian and me course so mine ko year me benefit bi every man ko year so me benefit enti se metenase za make so make sama Ghana fo nyina adenti na yentimi emba yenya conclusive Adiema obediently na ho asese evidence saying that you was a no challenge here there then we the minority we are providing this evidence adenti na monye na say amaye
well me just there your former committees we a lot of ejumana na nkan mankotime ye no mpanyimfo a what the announcers are wa ye hon ejuma so agent team for your in charge of defense and interior committee and a committee no warrior on ejuma warrior in the name of the minority caucus.
Okay,
intelligence there so far he is leading that conversation.
Okay,
on behalf of the minority caucus. I would not want to interfere with other views.
Okay,
I think so far he's handling the issue. What I don't like is the attacks on his personality.
Okay,
our friends in NDC no or that way tolerant. Politics was abutan na was here. In your being yadwin pa in shana hoba. Mempe a corner yenu anum NDC funu bi wo fada wakasa was it here. Otra adwin e wa azibia onu feel the onkoye. Abanu so remani nchim. Ini yadwina onya wo behye.
Okay,
me Jesus there him NIB our National Investigation Intelligence Bureau. It's not their due policy yema bipartisan committee to sit either in camera or before the cameras to discuss the issues. Grant him that he has put it on paper to demand for a committee deliberation. You don't attack him, you don't personalize the issue and now start calling him names. That is unfair. NDC should also understand that no opposition in some people working. All right, sabi, is that how they were treated? And if they were treated this way, would they have been happy? So I think that issues about yema hukwan na inchechemumbra inya aban ozi inhube shobi nimu na oba mo bia na sam akanimu nti no me dize nimbe pam no I think Reverend is around. Wobotum na we invite because the committee is seized with all the issues.
Okay.
Now if you want to further interrogate on your platform, I think you can do it. However, I hold a view there. The call by the committee led by, the call by him for the committee to sit it's a right call, because after all, I mean, that is the way to go. We are on break. He doesn't have an opportunity to file an urgent question now. The only opportunity is for the committee to deliberate and invite the agencies and share information. Maybe somebody says, oh, he should bring the evidence out, he should bring the evidence out. It's so sensitive there. In the national interest, you know, the intelligence agencies or the agencies involved must hear it in camera. But you don't attack him.
Okay. Reverend Kasai, or Kasi, so say there are certain things that are very sensitive. Security, thing. And yeah, there's a bit me about public. You being the minority leader. And the worker is sensitive near the because Reverend Kasi so say evidence. Honorable, what do we need?
How can you ask me this question? I won't answer this question. No. That's you can't be asking me questions about my caucus. I can't answer that. It's not right. No, it's not. You can't ask me whether me committee leader. No, I don't I won't get into that area. I won't get into that area with you. I will not get into that area with you. No, it's not appropriate.
So,
Abina, do you want us to have a good end to this show?
Very.
You want to?
Yes.
We started well.
Yes.
We started well.
We started very well. And I want us to end well.
No.
Okay. So you can't Osahini Alexander Afeyno Markins me pacho ye hwan.
Oh. So the mass me ya na I'm sure as be chien. Mutu me ya no.
Enti
I'm trying bibi kaka. Well, me ga na ni ba, me papa fi ahoro.
Okay.
Mama me fi futu.
Okay.
Me bi sa masse kakra. E tresa yezuko. Otublohu yezuko ojobi yezuko akomu yezuko ojobi ekropon gomi ekropon.
Okay.
Eba alonso mukatsa mna na nchan ochame and then mena na beyin efinya konopo mukatsa akwada no so ncha kakra musa no wonye mokre da me mekotu musu akasa no
eju te kasa no
oyara.
Okay.
Na efutu na bomi brain na.
Okay.
Na ko school Simpa, St. Augustine's, Mizako Buckingham, Bradford, Ghana Law School, Oxford, Mizi MP, Mkoke Vasu Kakra. Na me become Nimugwane, Mkaya law because now become no yaza or your interest.
Okay.
Every school na 2 years in order yet refi until my career professional course be Okanda Graduate School of Management.
Okay.
There's a crochet hostel at Crow House. Na mezi be mfi dawotwe. There's a career post boy or Ghana Post. Abebo no is na ya ko abebo mu school kakra. And Mrs. Sham edwuma ase because maybe ana me predama ya nkwankwa edwuma ye. And there's a name that's a company Yogodo Neze Bobra. I'm a lawyer, and so I enjoy courtroom practice. And I took a lot of my advocacy to court. I'm a lawyer, Mesity office, me per court, Ejuma. And Yogodo, which is there, politics or public life, no more, you should CP. But za nyamiza mahenyen obi bi said anti na mekasha amanyo sem za mufem wa brebom and the fact that nyankopon mama akonya me jizi de motu me use the makonya wa abenum ana amanyo sem na ai metime mfosu wenyam ho mfaso and ibe futu a mentu mfama no nka but nyankopon afamedo ezudwume pi ama efutuman and mokoda so na masum ababon de from David Amaka the butum na a survivor yempa sande amfa ampa ambobra bashufo
you're a Christian.
Oh yes, me a Catholic, but me so no, mama me no crop Pentecost kakra, and me na so ni crop Ghana Apostolic kakra.
Okay.
But mama nka wa send bi, me so na was me crop chairman no. Me papa no mama, oye Abrewa Dajezo. No ye konfo penyin wo chairman. But yen fie me chanara na Roman aso no e be jezi de on was me ka share father ni se. Wa me na besia. Consider no pebia no no zumuko mass ozuma question father ni say because ya dan nya itu na ebien pe e dan no ne fie no eseyi ana ni Roman chapel dan esuwa enti tu na ebien pe nti obe na bo no zumuko share enti Roman sofo no ozumuko Roman school na all compound one make start dentistry. Okay. Enti abrewa na obi be kada ye konfo no ozumuko crochet father ni say I don't know how my one come no I don't know what you say to ozumuko share father ni say and so that Catholic he started from infancy and then number back to Winneba. Mr. Father no a Catholic so now I was no mask Catholic na a Christ Apostolic na me na bisia so ma ko Ghana Apostolic I see and then but if yankasa me na nkanso ye sofo abuaji marking ye na nkanso na oze ebusuan bobo aze na nkasa no oye Methodist you know ye ozigwa oye merchant sikenyipa na goes in mu na obey Methodist sofo baptizing and obey Methodist sofo nti if yankasa ye Methodist fi nti ebe simpa na eke sofo marking fi a obi enyim the sofo marking fi ye oye Methodist and kofu besides ntina was it them abusing
the guys in parliament because how they talk be
you know if you in painful na what's on no for no so them abusing other watch na was it them is in a way sister there kwamena in painful there as I was amon or they use into munkade where pay MPT honorable waka there or ye in payina za was amon the payina za mowa into tunfo but that massa into what's a honor was it them a bozino was my mijitu medase na mejizi there ejumano yebokodo yaye yeah for me say
and a female in so kakra e ka ho and they open secret wo ka
so on one son never can
there be e say no ka wan no nka ho
say no pay on one son
no but family wise of course I mean it's obvious
well I'm a family man me so ejuma sim intam na mpefushe mkrande benyine say shase de echichi wo ejuma na rebobra ewara oyi and mejitum because aware ze o ma wo beyin no e stable say ye beyin na enware ya wa brebo ye basa and eso be say eso into one of the things that in penima meta say wa brebo mumtedo ewara o ma ye more responsible and I don't regret it brebo the Isuanzama and Oyazisia from day one and my farmer Wanishim Wankasa Wabrebo and all you learn a lot so I am very happy being a family man, being a politician, being a lawyer and above all being an entrepreneur because that is what creates the opportunity for the many that are unemployed. But I would end by saying one thing. I think we need a national orientation in this country. Where all of us will reorient ourselves and have a certain national psyche. Because sometimes I feel very sad. The way you abuse opportunities will come. The way akonye bi fi abem ba yen hwedu ye and this is across board NDC NPP the public service, the way Abainaze, I think that as a country, we need to reorient ourselves.
Okay.
Omanpeyi Kufo started. Ekebe Kufo na breed the Ministry for Information and National Orientation. Listen, Nzama Nkoye, even the private enterprise. Nkofu complain, oh, Obi Ejuma Wambantam, Tamo Obi Bejuman, or say, Oko prayer service be Obi, Oko retreat, Obi work Friday, by 2 o'clock, with Ejuman, Obi weekend, on Bejuma Monday, because this or that. Nkofu P at one Ejuma, Wakofa, Abrofo, and a warhead Wagana. Weekend, the Mukro, Minyan Kubini facility. Mukro, no, yes, in Komo. Na mu the Indian food ebien ebasa wetwe mo ho. Am say na Indian food also kwame na ejuma no na fa Indian food na wamba manager ejuma no gugu.
Ghana ni ntimi nye.
I was sad. You know what myself. Entrepreneurs pay a lot of businesses. They are bringing foreigners to head because of what? You know what myself. In our public service, a lot of waste because of young attitude. I believe that as a country, we can set that right. You go to America, they say America first and the American dream. There is that sense of patriotism, Kasibi. But I think what baby will be for the politicians no crown. Yes, continue to but that's my even in the company be attitude towards it. So I'm calling on government.
Okay.
For now they have the power. They should initiate something.
Okay.
Create a national dialogue on this matter. Let all of us rally around it.
Okay. Certain
things must change. It's not just a change in political power, but a system that we all run.
Okay.
Enkoye, Yansisa, na Yansisa yan Nzama Yariye. And I say this with a heavy heart because in Winneba, there are lots of interventions. Maya is going waste because of attitude. I remember a boat is a movie on fine juma. Nkofu gumu wakopo wonyana woba sikano on your account na boat nimpo etuaka na echi boat no woba wose engine asay ebu asay free nti owo no konhwe sika nipa no hwe wani na wakacho because of you dey be asabi awu was can that answer obi amani dweti on fanye juma on here because of your party member ni sika no so assess then as it cha oba ose oyer Minister of Franco Hospital. I'm seeing there. These things cut across and it's all over.
Okay.
Many people have benefited from the government, from Rollins to Kufo to Atamils to Mahama, Akufo-Addo and back to Mahama, and are abusing these opportunities. Private sector initiatives. If you go into some of these state institutions, they give out money to ordinary Ghanaian to trade, to do business, and you ask of the recovery rates, very low. I'm saying that such an attitude there, or you're buying no oma motor tractor for my farm, should end.
Okay.
And let's benefit from the state and allow the generations unborn to also benefit. Because if you look at the policies of the West now, the America trade war and the Western world is now looking more inward than before. They are no more talking about let's send aid, let's go and invest in Africa, let's budget for Africa's development. No,
about themselves.
They are also looking at it. They look, what's our bread? Also, the Misikano was it a one development or better? So how do we create the world ourselves? By changing our attitude, by adopting a new posture, calling out those who are getting it done wrongly, ensuring that collectively no yema omanu weziye. Otherwise, another 4 years of waste. A new government will come, the same system, and then where would the vicious cycle end?
Honorable, the questions that me will be brave. What kind of winning bass and you compare Kai me news beer? Me ya now do some more ball a NDC member be said well lucky a toilet before. You'll be saying I don't know 8 years and not 2 honorable now who is saying that when say no lucky.
No, it was something that I was talking about, but because also and you know the story also NDC Abredo and I will see the toilet and what's the toilet? Listen to the story, how funny the story is. A toilet in what see opinion or lobby for the toilet to be built or the Shannon said there on Fasa.
Oh, okay.
So for the period now MPP Babemo no was the toilet in the Zion school AME Zion primary school assemblyman Okoja na by asem na wa
qualified way
na why and these are some of the examples but we can work on
orientation in the assembly.
Well, we need to work on it and also not victimize our public servants and our security agencies because we are taking too much partisanship into all these institutions and it affects us. Mistake be a they repeating in there and under the BBC are on here so BBC not on here more on Kawasa. We can make it better. But that Masa from 1992 I don't think that if you improve the way we do things and check there will be a but we can do better as a nation. And I should also add this that as minority our job is not to obstruct government. Our job would be and is to constructively criticize, provide alternatives. We are not just there to say there as in here but we will continue to provide alternatives. But what we expect from government is tolerance. And we be sharing our doors and then machoism, now taxing and all the maslinging and defamation and name calling and trivializing issues. Government should also adopt a posture of responsibility and tolerate dissenting views, and that is what I believe would help our democracy.
You better say me Yawa mawako na I mean some of me baby say ya dear minim say Ghana for do mo any di which no enim say koso na me say we dey say emoye we dey me pe ane and say debi say yonko pa ene honorable Kennedy Japan na I feel a presidential primaries Okobi this year so they will see or see your young I mean on a lot of platforms would the any day a man of Bonabaso say waboa pen we patrol send American Annie and I said we be too for say this year so 2028 obekwana
answer na neighbor answer na here programming we agreed on the questions. If you allow your producer to be bringing you want to introduce things. You've already introduced about 4 questions outside of what we agreed. Okay, so let me answer you. Alright, so let me answer you. First, we are in opposition. My job as minority leader is to ensure that we are stable in parliament. We are seen as a formidable force and that Ghanaians trust that should they give us opportunity, we can do things better. Ghanaians and the party expect unity. My job is to act in a manner that will lead to unity and bring peace within the rank and file of the party.
Advise people to go for.
My job is to act very, very neutral as a leader, so that the more presidential friend then contest obi bia obewini bia no ayen in parliament yitumna rally behind the person.
Okay.
It's the reason why I make my colleagues MPs there. So the more flag bearership race, you need na yenfa neutrality posture be into because it doesn't help where obi eco declare me, or your dema ozi into Chiluba.
Okay.
We need to ensure unity. So we are not on this platform to be talking about flag bearership.
Okay.
Kennedy and I remain inseparable in relationship. He is a man I respect and love as a big brother, an uncle, a father, a mentor, and a colleague. We are a family. Okay? I know the relationship between us.
Okay.
And that relationship will remain. The new relationship. I have very good relationship with many others in the party who I respect. Brian and I have been very good friends.
Okay.
Dr. Baumia as our vice president, we've been very good in relationship. Honorable Dan Botre, Honorable Boache Jaku, the General Secretary, the National Chairman, the former majority leader, all the senior party members, Council of Elders, I maintain very good relationship and we bond well.
Okay.
I do not think that critical times are being out there making public pronouncements will help the cause of the party. And let me remind the party one more time. All we have are the legacies of President Kufuor and President Akufo-Addo. And for 2028, the only weapon we have is the Akufo-Addo legacy. Listen, Obi Botu waba kana Akufo-Addo dem, abe meze mfumduo. Abe bi enyuwa Obotu wa score 100%. But I want to tell my party members in there and Opeya Nyankopon all to Nsupegu yedu there. All we have is a legacy of Akufo-Addo. Okay. It is that legacy that we will rely upon for our 2028. Inti ebufunu ba na nzeme bi nkoye ya yenhwe yen anu fanfa.
Okay.
Na yenna yenye yen wa abota na yen bompa na yen fambua na party no onfa ne tempemfra. Na me asho edumfo Yakupon de yen kwache ajuda yakokumase.
Okay.
Ozikan the leadership of the party kache wo bibi. Party mpanyimfo ankro kwame na mo we free won opinion na say you da fi e bezi aboche team I remember. Okay? Binyim ankro so a wo committee won the look politics no ye pay for tum yen from paibo ezi ye nanyum ka onye abobo no za wo hu ho na za wo hu so ho boda to masa and is when we be is a bobra but of foam.
Okay.
A bompa na is bibia she odefo nsa. Ntina yen painful obu baby there or you nyame a osume ya osumu hu. Nu yehu. Osande ma wozi wa adwene susum na obi so osusu za se. Nti is empa te echi na imo ozi wanyi mekana. Ubi bi ewie pepepe na odu bia monde ni jembro dunti na yewie free ehun upenyin bi oya no nkomozi nyina ose kwam na mo wie free ohun openyin bi no nkomonyin ose mo wie free ohun nti me ze anope za me catch party mbe nyina ni de ma yewie free ehun de yenya me de do na ozi ye nenim 2000 election omo nkunimze yes dama breno soja banya where a cut to wabompana was the ituji which was in Suter and now then Hunza Osiwo Kwamna Battles no constituency was the second one Nani Mujay Ugu broad daylight na empire boti.
Okay.
Odu baby was one handover budget masa Kufuor was a 2 million then man or you're there for Nadum 2016 the same thing. So I'm saying that in all of these crises obi bakada na demo minyana you want to aba na yin for them. My joy is that in spite of all these disappointments, if the data now NDC did not really get any new numbers there significantly. One vote in 2020 across 2024. So for me, I'm so optimistic. But look, come 2028, Empire Ejumazin, Empire one was a Korean baba automatically.
Okay.
But that was Ejumazin because of course, Erintum in Bombay na enkade lazy. So a Bombay no definitely a show. I mean, the NPP vision for Ghana is the best.
Okay. Honorable, all Casas here, wako yechi, wamaya bakwasem kakra. Na uche free soja ban eba. Even at some point, a crampono na more member of parliament from NPP side was about 61, and from there from there mobile about 161 69 obi baka say wo ko we nimu a usua enema bebre se wo wechi mo number no esua motimi abomode na put myself together enyini akodu baby at some point lay person baka say no you too complacent. Most yen na mo dwene ye ho but e go to point be say enye yen na mo fa ye ho biom ye ka asem krompo na mo nti sese ye word mete o say won ka se mo ye nipa etoda na se mo wie e fi mo ho moving forward e dear pa na mo de ba e be danson ko ama wo mo buofu o mo be ka se afeidi akoma to ye yem nti e be ba together we are devote ama mo
I say ebisa asem ezikan Miji to me there. Odubina tumuba. Inyanze menyina na ye ni. Until obviously the last 8 years are yenye tumno. Minjizi there. In spite of our successes, there were also some disappointments. Mijitum. Okay. Obviously, yeah, nimpa. But the main thing, ebaze sonku, ena yebeye. Na yezi ashe nkofun kran yezi amon areshem yezi amon hu de bi anamontui woze hyeyan sebioa ebotumi ayenie ekor ni ja ya je tum de nzama kra na bi ankoye ibio yen vision for the country, private enterprise for the benefit of the ordinary Ghanaian. I think that all the year two na yes mikena or the year Ghana for what I see or ye in Chechim. If you feel that the new MPP would have to make known the systems are obviously guard risks so that, for instance, so one will be getting on Fenzigua, a system will be in place. Obe make sure the new partner was action and said, or is Guana and for Sona wa abroad do. Ibio say Yari Abana, you make sure that in Zama Timimufunu Buyano, saying Poyan Adrin Wafan, Za, Washington Papanaran Kasam, no, the Yeti. And I also think that governance with good research of what, because sometimes, you know, like music and Markano, our word you but in your sooner will be edging. And as we feel that was our can oya in your interim, but that's myself. Then also we create a platform of equal opportunity. Sometimes politics are appear.
And I say equal opportunity.
Oh, chade ye tipenko. It is a me fisimpa. Me fisimpa. My mama ye futu. My papa ye anlo. Oh, if you are sante. Obiso ofi bole. Obiso ofi talensi. obiso ofiyendi on phone baby efi nembom the qualities in you or competence winning z will be the priority.
Okay.
At the same time no so no was a balance the if create a rainbow coalition, a national picture where obiebo the MPP truly them bre they be a can national party on phone baby if say iwe nimzia ezebe bibia party be de ne bebo akonya mpojo atmasa intino mejizi de the means me nyina Ghana for wo hwe dem party won so ben te den oh say me a lawyer na me fi krasi bia and me nya akonya na o de ye madam assurance o tintim wonkofo won tim some idea bi na se me penyin bi wo esora anama idea na oboboa ankrankra dwumayen anadam idea no wobeja atuma na that assurance must be there obi opedo twa abobo ya na we hu opportunity bi wo baby a obenya sikaze akota abobo ya ne bia ana obenya akonya wa bra na wo fa bi ense ikunu mu ana you know all these things you know is part of the rebranding and rebuilding. Because the ordinary person onya assurance the above one abana year to no or am wanting an impero to aba and yet all to do and the flock but that massa a imbubi abasino na meko senya na me bisa how na seku when any baby call me bisa nde abazenti na senyafo enye wodan wo ye MPP no ka se mitram o se obeye MP obuzi na bem na oye transport minister okofie biem na otu anaman okofie ma wakafa ekor ozna akoto edwuma wa afeyi ozna ekosu edwuma wa afeyi oz no odecheche party no tu ebusu but that masa so ehun papa ye no wonfa so but that masa
nti ma wo mu otimi
no correct
okay
nti echichire dem edon na odon wo nyimpa na akunuma generation all be nyina no
omo bedon
ozechi because party abua nti me just there as part of young rebranding young rebuilding for victory 2028 dem nzeme yaza or the yadwemo the se nkunimze ba ya sure yen tinemufu de look on phone mpoda nya party member mboanu bododo na se awu first time inya mboa na chede imu the party odweno I mean come 2028 Ndc for nankasa also obenya new candidate because of course Afeyno Mahama Sabio on kaye 2 terms constitution man condemn into no I mean there you know or yeah statesman you know I don't see him as a politician again.
Okay. So when some feel some way ahead of ANDC and
not necessarily.
Okay.
You can only be ahead when you have also put your house in order.
Okay.
The failures of your opponent does not guarantee an automatic victory for you. First, or that I will also put your house in order. But what I'm saying is that issues like apathy.
To me,
oh, it is to be expected.
Okay.
Ayezi to be expected. Ibabema from day one or to that ice block na start to melt. Your enemy start from day one because obi benya obirinya. But that's my sir. If the MDC someone the same thing
after 4 years.
The apathy has already started.
Okay.
I won't give details, but it's obvious. We know what we know. But that's my sir. And then also on one casino they gave empty promises. They took advantage.
NDC.
Oh, of course. You see, what is new? What is new? But it's a matter of time. It's a matter of time.
Empty promises.
bibiara manimbe
but ono once na obeka se bi obi promise empty no na wo nyina so
of course
ebi ye
okay so one they promised women banking they were all over no what promise they look yan ma menu ma wozigwa no wo bobo won wo be set up bank na when you sika wozigwa okay
but the budget almost settle 51 million.
What is 51 million? What is 51 million?
When we say meet criteria Bank of Ghana the madie but say we say seed money.
Seed money for what? They am of Okroma. Galamsey board they are establishing. One more 4.6 billion.
And we almost say a solution to the canker.
I'm not an economist. Me here economist. Me say me here law.
Okay.
But that is simplistic view now.
Chief Executive Director Sami Jamfi
Chief Executive Officer
Bettina Hasi Kasaye Sami Jamfi ma o chire mu o breaking it down what the tangent say enko base you gold no ebenyu said your first name you foreigners no entime embebo nwemu emma yesika no enyu nko small scale miners no now omutu omu gold omu ni baby embetime regulate price no emma first no not good good for oil need to manage the prices and to be any gold that that's not any bonus cost until the co baby cost but we are going to they are all going to be under one umbrella said they will meet me and regulate price and that's the reason to more asset a good board
state control of economic variables it hasn't helped a country like Ghana. Bureaucracies have hit us more because people take advantage. Look, I won't be here because we are doing politics to condemn the initiative.
Okay.
And attack personalities.
Okay.
But I'm saying that the idea of the gold board, practically will not help the country. Why? It is rather going to create an opportunity that will promote Galamsey. Remember, you see, what's what small scale miners? I know the small scale mining, perhaps on paper, could be said there is different from Galamsey on paper, but in reality, those who claim to be small scale miners are in effect doing Galamsey. By the way, if the person says that you're a small scale miner, it presupposes there or we need to keep your order to equipment. But that's matter. Before you get a mining license, whether large scale or small scale, in your proposals, in your financials, the Minerals Commission on Sora Kekemo license. Now, what's Minya Sami Jamfi and Kanye there? What's it? They are in the law. No, they are also saying that they're going to buy equipment.
I know more. The truck.
Come on. Oh, please.
You see, say free.
That is where the danger is.
Oma sign your man with the free the Omo control. Now stop it into me. Machine into me.
I am an entrepreneur. I know the challenges in entrepreneurship. You can talk paper. Many finance minister kasa. Market trend look. They tipenko. No respecting. Good idea. Honor Sami Jefimina kasa. Mr. Sami, you know what? Great idea. But there are eminent risk, real dangers. Look, and you're careful. Nkrofo beji sika no po won tua or what's aggregators be or the work to gold no was ba or what catch your party member sika na amba na input in the necessary guarantees aben bolu sika ibio mamile ibio azana esere ye no you say you want to fight Galamsey trust me, once you start buying equipment for people, once you say small scale mining, by the way, what the Galamsey gold baba is there any system in place to say that yepe boulder one mining in a proper way. Let's stop it. I am saying that it's one of the failings. One of the things are Abeni Ambwa. 2, go back to the women in banking. Women in banking, 51 million. 51 million. This beza, even 100 Ghana cedi per person. And go find 51,000. 100 Ghana cedi. No. Oya samka. Mesi kada 100 Ghana. Of course, you can't give 100 Ghana. The minimum is bois obine wezigwa oton a pure water. And now oye asana. And oye kokumpa. The capital is about money 1,000. I mean in Winneba, the women entrepreneurship program the minimum I give is 1,000 Ghana cedis. I won't obey, but that's myself. So, in my 1,000, in my 100 input, it's into my 1,000, in my 100 input. The 51 million, some 50,000 people. So I'm telling you that the government itself is not serious about its own promise. 2, let me go to 2. Agriculture. Let me finish. You ask an important question.
The same first one, because I can't go to Nasamono. Some of them feel more to the tangent because of say, the right source are to go to know at the Afeyno about international markets now. ASR London bullion. You mean to me my price because I don't know. You need to provide the source. It was a legal and santi and no sir. Regulations.
Let's not stay on issue 1 for too long.
Doable.
Good idea. They may mean well.
Okay.
But unfortunately, they are playing into the hands of Galamsey.
Okay.
And I do not see any light at the end of that tunnel. Bill, they have oversimplified it. Oh, you bring your gold, you know, your gold na yankase yatona. It will show up our forex and then it will stabilize the economy. No. You see, it is too simplistic.
Okay.
Because you are only looking at a fraction of the issues that affect the stability of the city. A key issue to consider is agriculture. Okay? Grow to feed yourself and export. There's made a huge promise for agriculture. But what was the budget for agriculture? My budget statement, the finance minister also on 1.5 billion. IBA estimator 924 million. Meanwhile, in the 924 million, a chunk of the amount is for compensation. Compensation yabaze, salaries of workers. So the amount of money for capital investment to say that the misike yet a bois undo 200 million. So from day one, you have failed the ordinary Ghanaian that you promised in Kokonkete. A promising there you are going to support agriculture because since you may be someone there, very knowledgeable person, I so much respect him in parliament. Look, he is redundant. He's a lame duck minister because he has nothing to work with. They made a huge promise. The farmers in the country, the vegetable farmers in my constituency, those in various rice farming activity, maize, agro processing, they have expectation. In this year's budget, by the way, government can only spend what has been appropriated, what has been approved by Parliament, what is in the budget estimates now we provided. If agriculture, which is key, you fail to provide for, you are supporting Galamsey with more money, 4.6 billion. Whereas in agriculture, you have only an amount of 200 million plus to invest. What are you trying to do? Zero. Then let's come to the third issue. 24-hour economy. I'm paying me better Ghana food million there. Ndc for no was a Sebi in the Adana was about being. Ghana for obviously 24-hour economy. What's it then? we propose what's it? Is it 133 or 311?
Yeah.
Maybe something. In other words, what's one job, three shifts?
3 shifts, yeah.
Right, 1 job, 3 shifts. I expect that a key promise that you've made, it should be included in your year 1 budget. Okay? What is not in the budget cannot be implemented. Simplicity. Omampeyinba Parliament, Wusona, State of the Nation Address. Odu 24-hour economy. Asamne also 24-hour economy. Asamne ze. Oza ashe budget ni mu. Inti yenya ato force ni ba. Obaka wasam. We will provide details.
Yeah.
Throughout the vetting. Realizing that Bisa one of is 24-hour economy. Sebi. But all the clip no. MPs ni pi, ministers ni pi wa sebi. One comes manifesto no one can. Anamwa. Maybe someone about 24-hour economy. Obia one inchim. Ibinu po maybe someone about one by a manifesto nupa. Also man or check. And somewhere honest to say they did not read.
So obia one inchim. I say what classroom na teacher ni atra there. The way obesi ama even notes because sometimes you paraphrase.
No, but what is 24-hour economy? Is there 1 job, 3 shifts? Which areas are you going to focus on? The areas you are going to focus on, should be included in your first budget statement. What incentives are you going to provide to create the 24-hour economy? Because you see, the essence of the 24-hour economy was job creation.
Okay, but
I'm saying that. I'm saying that.
Implementing
No.
Mekaisa Honorable Elizabeth Echo Olam. Okay. Encourage you to do what? Or pastor no. Now no master say with the policy.
You see, Lizzie is a respected lawyer. You know. You see, you can't use propaganda to run a government.
When you company.
Listen, if UTV, more shift system. How does government take credit for it?
But listen to me. Wait. Ghana publishing almost 24 economy. And
listen, if a company has its policy and is implementing its own corporate policy based on Juma or year, government can only take credit if a certain incentive is introduced to enhance it. So for instance, UTV more system a program open 3 a.m. 2 a.m. Within that period, the workers are also there. Until Abemba knows to look more electricity bill are mutual incentive there, you pay half because you have a system to employ more. That is an incentive. Government can take credit. If Abemba also do more tax equipment and Mozebano, they introduce a system Mozeba, it's free. More corporate tax and so then government can claim credit. No, or the policy or benefit one into more employ more. You see, the essence of intervention by government for the private sector is to create a space for job creation. That is why Akufo-Addo introducing 1D 1F. What was the one district one factory vision for?
Was it successful?
Largely successful. Those that benefited, yes, but it got to a point the same NDC realized that no, there will be so many gains, so they started playing politics with it. They've cancelled it. Okay, there is nothing in place to support the private sector. This budget I will read 2025 is an anti-private sector budget. Tell me, ask your chief executive, ask the founders of Despite Media, ask them that upon reading the budget, what is the incentive for them as an industry player. Ask entrepreneurs, go around the country, interview entrepreneurs. those in agro processing. No, but it's not about yet to. It should be in the budget.
You share even a sanitary pad promise of making
oh, come on.
Now, no, almost almost my indigenous businesses now. I'm a manufacturer.
No, but that was an old thing, please, Mommy, Bocho. Mama won't find him green in room.
No, somebody may be so.
Don't coffee one can acquire. One can acquire. No, I'm missing one can acquire. Only MPP Aban, a Kede, Abno Sayasari, Minister of State, Finance Ministry, came to defend why we were even giving tax incentive to some of the companies now where you were friending, were manufacture sanitary pad. And they said that, you impose a tax on one hour importing so that we will discourage importation. The government of MPP put in place measures say it may a production of Ghana, you will get the incentive so that you can manufacture cheaper, you can employ more. In fact, that was the main traction. And then what's the DB? I'm saying there, in this 2025 budget, there is nothing for the benefit of the private sector. For instance, they are all out in town. What's the way e-levy? Okay, we repeal e-levy. Good. So people are happy. Good. But do you know that the levies at the ports on imports of goods, they maintain it. One touch. So Aboso Kai, remember?
Only this, I mean, in the next, you know.
Agrobosa Ofianopa. You promise Ghanaians. It's the Wakro, Oman paying so crow. Aboso Kai. Wakonenam Kokompe, Wakro, Edum, Wakro, Swame, Memi. What's it? No, when you be crowd, you never or a process. If they are taking some, they are taking some, they are giving some tax relief. I would say, okay, what's that? I'm saying that is zero. Go to Ghana Union of Traders. This one, invite them. That in this 2025 budget, was there any repeal of tax beer? Nankan Wotri and Akufada Abembe where you tax it. In fact, there were some taxes Nankobe expire 2025. There was even an attempt to extend it perpetually. Stop one. Then they extended them to 2028. The large scale mining companies, they've imposed tax on the first, no, 1%. Why are 3%? Why those companies were making more profit? But it's not only through taxation, but you can also give the tax rebate and encourage production. So I'm simply saying that the ordinary businessman, the trader, there is nothing to celebrate in this 2025 budget. And that is a reality. I will challenge the NDC, open the budget and tell me that these are major incentives for the private sector. What's the way you want D1F? Interview Honorable Elizabeth Ofusha-Jare and ask her the trade ministry now. In fact, that is also another redundant ministry. It's also another redundant because what are they doing? Was the one listen, was in Zamania was Akasha good big push. And then even if you look at Jubilee House, salaries for one appointees, they provided about 2.7 billion. Okay? The 2.7 billion is even more than agriculture, 924 million. So I'm saying there, NDC for the promises are what you know, but what be says Abusume Basa and Yewomi. Men kada Abusume Basa, they should achieve everything. That would be unreasonable. But what I'm saying that in terms of policy measures, the structures are what's I sure we put this in place, we put that in place, you know. You do that through your first budget.
When you say you're too early, so expecting
our expectations are founded on policy.
Okay.
And it will not be wrong for me to raise that as a concern.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
You bring budgets. It is in the budget that you detail your vision for the year. What you intend to do. If no show budget, as everyone can during campaign time, when you budget, I won't take you serious. Okay. And I'm saying that NDC football will be uncronkred Jumayafono. In Shishabi and you are why there was a bubble.
Okay.
Again, I wanna why 1D1F. Where baby to 1D1F in it place 0. Ibio, no 24-hour economy now one kasa working. There was a 24-hour economy policy bill bar. Obe created jobs. So one job, 3 shifts. What's it? Obe created 3 shifts so that Obi benye biaye, Obi benye biaye, Obi benye biaye. NDC for our Winneba. NDC for our Apa. NDC for our Swedro. NDC for our Nima. And now Ghana youth our Nima. Our expectation do nti say ba ma wenye adwuma nti wokoto aba was my NDC awonya MPP no ebufu. What should they expect? 0, because nti say no po only one eyinmu. Now finance minister say a tree was a 24-hour economy policy in Shishan Meda was baba yentwen kapem debe because you are done with your budget, meaning for 2025 is 0. Is it to be expected during mid-year review? We wait to see. Okay.
Say many wish say na yankasa for about 2 months and then a month back. I mean 2 months down the line. ECG and some are sorry. You can correct me somewhere July and obey ECG chair. Minim say sanity there. Na Abetoja about 1,346 containers at Iowa. Now, my paraphrase assembly okay parliament. I mean, you started by saying, sir, to your respected colleagues, sir, unless I pretend this now some of the custom officers now connive with others to sell ECG, container to private sectors and later resell to ECG. Koso enye adepa nti ese mu nyina mo hwe na moka na obi so be bisa say abrebe e na wuhu sesa containers no yiwaye na ye wabre so ana na as a member of parliament and as a chair die ba na muntu na wutufa ho.
Right, that's it. Ozikan mamfa the mincheche membra sir ECG Wama contract was be the import cables in Brown. And she said, I'm a quick training there. Was a contract in Nimpana. The contract terminates upon delivery of bill of lading. Metrim Nimpano was an Nzamano or import no Zaba. Was in Krata Ziba ECG.
Okay.
The Nzamane Ebudu port. Maybe then we put in invoice for payment. That means that the contract has been executed. So end of contract.
Okay.
The next thing is that ECG. It's a share now in the ECG now makes arrangement to pay duties.
Okay.
They will trade duties here. Now port for no release goods. Then the goods now go to the warehouse of ECG.
Okay.
Good. In the Sobi Bakach or there, ECG war containers be a port. Ayo. Na board chairman and na managing director Onyimubia Sebe. The minimum pan Zoraka.
Okay.
Because containers were porter. It's under the full custody and control of the port authorities and other agencies that are responsible.
Okay.
It is a reason why Abenibia were national security officials were port. It's a reason why custom officials are there. It is a ECG for one containers under the custody of the port authorities. Obisi Yawa. ECG managing director, board member. board chairman wombeni bi the people to hold responsible yeah port officials and all others responsible for the custody of the containers now over port.
Okay. Now,
wait. I've understood all your abna.
Okay.
Wait. So I just need you to understand because you see sometimes in some bar you talk about and change into bone there into a. So let me explain it. The principle is this: people must understand there as he them not. Now, so we back at your the ECG for one containers be IO reporter. The meaning panel my manu for 20 years in your intelligence infrastructure. You don't mistreat the person. Never. Obia wakokosum managing director or baby minister assembly or what can you? But if you reduce it to partisanship, attack, I'm not suggesting that I am against accountability. Obia render accounts, but in the process, there must be a system in place. But where we play to the gallery all the time, attack. In the end, it says Ndc for budget aba. They're also going to start procurement. Governance is about procurement. A baby and you are over survive without procurement. Okay? You buy for the state. So they would have to take it easy and follow due process and allow us to all feel that Omanu Yehinara. The more they continue to attack, persecution here, persecution there, in the press conference, then people I don't know, the real problem is there. Solve it. Let me tell you, let me see this some working. In the NDC MPP Abredo, ECG in more lawyers are. One lawyers NDC for number wasn't NDC for Kukuda. No NDC for ECG lawyers in MPP time. They were the ones who were writing legal opinion. I have court documents. These same lawyers are. You know what? When the they were writing legal opinions. They were in court when people sued ECG. These were the same people that would defend the ECG there. ECG in the work PPA. How can the same people today, when their party members are attacking the former MD and our former managing directors for not going to PPA, they will keep quiet? PDS in some they were in the public space talking about corruption. Do you know that those lawyers are will defend PDS and you for ECG? They were Abrochi court. You end these lawyers. You see, let us say Ghana first. That is what I'm saying there. Za all kodono on boy. You see, as it means politics does not mean being partisan 24 hours. You look at the national interest. The fact that we opponent all the Biblia or Buano on each other can want some papa. I will opposition in Babylon.
Okay, my interest. But
no, I need to. You brought an important question. Zawarian in the long run unborn. I've been in government before. I started off in opposition. I am back into opposition. I know for a fact the bureaucrats is now creating in the public service, in terms of the structures,
okay.
It requires a collective political will to solve it. If we make it partisan,